Hello bookworms! Today I am coming to you with some videos that with one video that I pre-recorded before the state of the world was in the way that it is now. So I just wanted to record a little message at the beginning of my video. I decided to include this at the beginning of a book haul video because I know that those get the most views, and I just wanted to express that I fully support the Black Lives Matter movement. I myself have been doing a lot to listen, to learn as much as I possibly can about what's going on, to recognize that I am a privileged white person, and to find out what it is that I personally can do to help make a change, because we need a change. One thing that I've personally been doing is that I have been trying to shop from Black-owned businesses, and I've also purchased a bunch of books by Black authors. These are obviously very little things, but they contribute to helping. So it's something that I have started doing. I'm also being much more conscious about the places that I am shopping and the companies that I am supporting, because I don't want to be associated with anyone who doesn't understand that everybody should be treated equally. I personally have been really surprised to read a bunch of the stats that I have found out, and I feel horrible that I have been ignorant to much of what Black people go through on a daily basis. And it really breaks my heart to see people not supporting and not doing whatever they can to make sure that everyone is treated equally. Like, there's no reason that somebody should be treated differently just because of the color of their skin. It's horrible that it's something that happens, and I'm glad that everyone is coming together to make a change and make hopefully the world a better place for everyone inhabiting it. I truly believe that everyone is equal, and I'm gonna just continue to keep listening to Black voices and learning from Black literature, paying closer attention to events that are happening within the world, because I'm definitely guilty of not really watching the news very often, but I obviously want to do better. So I know that this is definitely a different note than I usually begin videos on. I took the week off from posting last week despite having already filmed and edited my videos, because I didn't want to take away from any of the important information that was being shared online. I wanted everybody to focus on what's most important. Some things that I'm going to be doing going forward is I'm definitely going to be making an effort to read from more Black authors and share those releases with you guys. I tend to read mostly fantasy, which is largely written by old white guys, so I'm going to be trying to seek out those newer voices and newer books and do what I can to support those. One thing that I will let you guys know is, so the Sartorial Geek book club, which I started over on Jordan Denay's Discord, for the month of July, we're going to be reading A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This is a new release that just debuted, and it's a fantasy book about mermaids. I'm really excited to read it. I think summer is the perfect time to be reading about mermaids, and I'm also really excited to be able to support a debut author, and I really hope that many of you will purchase the book and show your support as well and join us in the book club to discuss it. Oh, another thing that I will say is that I think it's really important to make sure that you're following diverse people as well. There are so many people on BookTube and so many excellent voices. I know that I myself have found some new people just in this past week and a half that I've started following. I've really enjoyed everything that they've posted since I started subscribing to them. I'm gonna leave a link down below to a couple of Black booktubers that I think have really great content, and also some of their videos where they've discussed what's going on, because you should get your information from somebody who is experiencing it firsthand. I think that their videos have been really informative and really helpful for me to try to get a better understanding of what it's like to be in their shoes. And then the second thing that I will say is, with the Harry Potter controversy, J.K. Rowling sucks. It's really unfortunate that she is such a horrible person, but I really appreciated Daniel Radcliffe's statement and how, like, the wizarding world of Harry Potter really belongs to us, the readers. What I've learned from Harry Potter is that love is more important than anything, no matter what. It doesn't, like, there's no conditions to it at all. It's unconditional. I just wanted to say that I fully support anybody who is trans, anybody who has been hurt by J.K. Rowling's words. It's awful. Okay, so now to get into my pre-recorded content, I just wanted to say something first, because I want you to know that I'm listening, I'm learning, and I fully support equal rights for Black people, 100%. And I hope that you do too. And if you don't, this isn't the channel for you. Hello bookworms! Today I'm gonna do my May book haul video. Once again, I want to say I got less books in May, but I do again have quite a pile here. So let's just go ahead and get started. First, I'm gonna start off with a very special arc, which I was really excited to get a copy of, and that is The Truth Project by Dante Madema. I cannot wait to read this one. I talked about it in my most anticipated contemporary books video. This is a story all about a girl who does a genealogy test as part of a school project, and when she gets her results back, she finds out that her father, who is a Shakespeare-loving professor, is not really her biological father. Her biological father is a musician from Seattle. So her entire life is pretty much upended because she finds out this huge secret that she needs to keep from her father that she grew up knowing as her father, but she's also curious about her biological father. It just sounds like it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And the book is actually written in a really unique way. So it looks like there's conversations between characters. So like just strictly dialogue, and then portions of the book are also written in verse. There are also letters and emails, and I just can't wait. I think this is going to be amazing. It's going to be a very quick read too, and I'm really looking forward to getting to this one. I'm going to try to read it in June. Then we're just going to start at the top of my pile. So the most recent book that I acquired is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I had pre-ordered this one after I heard some early buzz about it, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. This one follows a woman who is a romance writer and a man who is a literary author, and both of them have writer's block, and then they end up on vacation together as next door neighbors, and they decide to challenge each other. So the male author is actually going to write a romance novel, and the female author is going to write a literary fiction novel. Supposedly there's a very good balance between romance and real life issues, and I'm very, very excited after all of the early reviews that I heard. Then I have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This is the prequel novel in the Hunger Games series. It just came out. I'm sure everyone has already heard about it. I'm really excited for this one. I'm going to be reading it in June. I am hosting a book club over on the Sartorial Geek. So there is a Discord server that you can join if you want to read the book along with us, and this is our June pick. There's already a reading breakdown and everything as a pinned message, so you can check that out if you want to join in. I can't wait to start talking about it. Some of the people in the Discord already finished the book and loved it, so I can't wait to dive in. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I'm so excited to read this book. This one also sounds absolutely amazing. It's about a book club in the South, and there's kind of strange things happening, and people seem to be disappearing, and one of the women realizes that it's probably vampires, but no one else really believes her. I also really love this cover. I think this is going to be a really fun one to read. Next, I have a finished copy of Shorefall by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the second book after Foundry Side, and I had a terrible reading month in May, so I didn't get a chance to pick this one up yet, but I very much want to do so because I loved the first book, and it follows a young girl who goes on like a magical heist, and once she retrieves this magical artifact, there are all of these mob families that are pretty much on the hunt for her so that they can acquire that object back. It was so funny, and the world was so interesting, and I really like Sancha, the main character, and also Clef, he's the best. So I'm really looking forward to reading the second book. Then I picked up a copy of The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This is another one that's been getting a lot of buzz on BookTube recently, and my friend Holly from Holly Hearts Books actually like reached out to me directly and was like, you need to read this book. It is so good. It is like reading a Pixar film, and I was like, I literally just ordered that book the other day, and it should get here very soon. So now it's arrived, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. This one follows a guy who gets tasked with going to this mysterious island where there are 6 children there who have been deemed dangerous. I think all of them have some kind of powers, and his job is to go there and to determine if the children actually are dangerous or not. I've heard it's very heartwarming, and I'm so excited to have this one. Then I picked up a copy of The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. I really enjoyed Trisha Levenseller's first duology, The Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen. Yeah, I think that's what they were called. I thought those were really fun. I liked the first one a lot better than the second one. Her writing was really fun and quick paced, and I've been kind of craving those kinds of stories as my in-between books for when I'm reading Stormlight Archive and Wheel of Time. So I thought this would be a good one to pick up and potentially read in June. Then Random House came out with a special edition of Stormfront, which is the first book in the Dresden Files series. These ones are typically, you can find them in the store mostly in like mass market paperback, but for a limited time they released it in hardback on their website, so I ordered a copy of it. I've actually already read the first Dresden Files book and I enjoyed it, but it was years ago and I need to reread it before I continue the series. And I'm also trying not to continue until after I finish some of the series that I'm already committed to, but I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to get the hardcover, so I picked that up. I know that I already like it, so that's a good thing. And once I finish probably Wheel of Time, I'll be more apt to start some new series that also have quite a number of books under their belt. I also picked up a copy of Dune by Frank Herbert. This is a really beloved classic sci-fi novel, and there's a film adaptation that's coming out in December, so I figured it was probably a good time to pick up a copy and check it out before that adaptation is released, though I tend to read the book and then never see the movie. So if anything, adaptations just motivate me to pick up the book, which is a good thing. I've always been curious about this one because it has such a huge fan base, and part of the reason also is because it clearly had a huge influence on Star Wars, and you guys know how I feel about Star Wars. It's like my favorite thing in the world. So I really want to read this and see if I can find those connections between George Lucas's world and the world of Dune. And I've been told by multiple people that they think it's something that I would enjoy, so that sounds good to me. Also, this edition is so pretty. Like, just a look at these blue pages, I was like, I am in love when I saw this book. I've wanted it since it was first released, but now I'm finally jumping on the bandwagon. Then Alexa from Alexa Loves Books sent me over a little quarantine surprise, and it was really exciting when it showed up in the mail. She sent me 2 arcs. So the first one is for Little Universes by Heather Demetrios. I know her and our friend Rachel read it together and they both really enjoyed it, and I read one of Heather Demetrios's other books. The name is now escaping me, but it was about a girl who was on a reality show, and I really loved it, so I've been wanting to read more of her stuff. This is about sisters who lose their parents and they're forced to move across the country during their senior year, and apparently along with their parents' death came a lot of secrets and a lot of struggles for them. Both of them said it was like absolutely incredible, so I'm excited. And Alexa also sent me an arc of 4 Days of You and Me by Miranda Canali. Miranda Canali wrote that really long sports series, the 100 Oaks series, and I read a couple of books in that series and enjoyed them, but I'm not the biggest sports person, so I'm hoping that I will end up loving this one. And this is a rom-com about a kind of hate to love couple, and they're very on again, off again, and they keep getting kind of pushed back together, so it sounds like it's gonna be cute. Then I could not wait any longer for my copy of The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez to come off of hold from the library, so I decided to just buy a copy for myself, and now I'll be able to read this one, and then I'll be able to read the second one, the Happy Ever After playlist, which everyone seems to love. A very silly reason, but I'm very excited to read this one because the main character's name is also Kristen. I've only read one other book, or like 2 other books besides The Babysitter's Club, but Christy went by Christy instead of Kristen. But I've only read like a handful of other books where the main character or a side character, not even a main character, has my name. So I'm really excited for that reason alone. It looks like it's just going to be a delightful rom-com, and I'm here for those. Then Alexa, Rachel, and I are going to be rereading the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series, starting with book 1. I think we're starting in June, actually. I picked up Sisterhood Everlasting, which is actually the 5th book in the series, which follows the girls much later. I think they're like in their 30s at this point. The author decided to revisit the series, and this one was released in the last couple of years. So I read the original quartet back when I was in high school, and I loved it so much. I never got around to reading this 5th book, so I'm excited to reread the original quartet and then be able to read the newest book, which follows all of the girls when they're like turning 30. I also got yet another copy of Queen Shadow by E.K. Johnston. This is one of my favorite books in the Star Wars canon universe. I just love it so much. This is actually my 3rd copy of this book. This is a UK paperback that I ordered from Book Depository, and I just think it's really beautiful. I really like the convention exclusive one from the US too. It has Padme in like her white outfit, and it's like painted and it's so beautiful. The main US cover is also really pretty, but I think these two, like this one and the convention exclusive, are my favorites. So now I have 3 of them. And if they came out with more that I liked, I would definitely buy them because this is honestly one of my favorite Star Wars novels. It follows Padme and her handmaidens, and we get to see her like meeting them, and then it's just all about their friendship, and it's so good. Then actually, while I'm mentioning Star Wars, instead of showing you graphic novels, I'm going to show you 2 giant art books that I have. So the first one is The Art of Star Wars Rebels. I haven't actually opened this yet. Should I do that? No, I don't feel like it. This is like a limited collector's edition that I pre-ordered when I saw that it was on sale last year. Star Wars Rebels is one of my favorite shows. I really loved it. I love all the characters in it, and the whole thing was just so exciting, like from beginning to ending. So I knew that I had to have this as soon as I saw that it was a thing. It was definitely on the pricier side, but my love for this show knows no bounds. There's an example on the back of like what the book looks like underneath this giant slipcase. And then another enormous book that I have, which I actually got back in December but didn't have at my apartment, is Harry Potter Page to Screen. This is the updated edition. So this was a new one that was just released, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. My brother gave this to me for Christmas, but it's huge and really heavy. And he also gave Andrew a very awesome, huge, and heavy Legend of Zelda book. So Andrew and I were not able to carry these back to the city with us along with our luggage and other Christmas presents for Andrew's family. So my parents actually dropped this off to us very recently, and I'm very excited to have it here at my apartment now and I can actually read it. Then graphic novels. I got Lost Carnival by Michael Morici. This is one of those like DC reimagined origins kind of graphic novels, but this one follows Dick Grayson, so there was no question that I would be getting it. Dick Grayson is one of my favorite characters in the DC universe. Cannot wait to read this. I really hope that I'm going to love it. I'm also a little bit apprehensive because I know about the origin change from listening to Alexa's review, so I'm a little bit worried, but I'm still excited and hopefully I'll like it. Then I got Archie Volume 1 by Nick Spencer, and I also got Archie and Sabrina Volume 2 by Nick Spencer. I really like Nick Spencer's writing. He wrote the Morning Glories graphic novel series, which I read years ago, and I was actually in an issue of that with my 2 best friends, and it was really cool. But I'm very excited that he's working on Archie now, so I think everyone knows what the Archieverse is about since now we have Riverdale and The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. So these should be quick and fun, and hopefully I'll get to these in June. And then the last book that I have to show is a volume of manga, and that is Volume 6 of Daytime Shooting Star. This is a series that I really want to catch up on. I thought I was going to do that in May, and then I barely read anything, so here's hoping that I will do it in June. I really enjoyed the first volume of the series. It follows a girl who moves to Tokyo from a very small like farming town, and she's made fun of, and it was just cute, and I think that I'm gonna like it. So that's it. Those are all of the books that I acquired in May. It still feels like less than I normally get, even though I know that it's a lot, but I've been really good about unhauling things, and I was calculating the other day, and the number of books that I purchased this year is only slightly above the number of books that I've read this year, and I've been really good about unhauling things as soon as I read them if it's not something that I'm going to reread. So I'm counting this year as a win. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I've mentioned, or if you're going to be joining us for the Sartorial Geek Book Club. I'm so excited to be hosting that. Yeah, that's all that I have for this video, so I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!